What is going on, guys? It's your boy Chris here. I am back with a new video. It's been a little bit since I've been on here with the video, but things have been kind of hectic in my life. Um, but I'm back. We're here, and it's time to talk about the long-awaited Vince McMahon documentary. I'm gonna knock out the first part of this right away. Is any new ground really uncovered? Not really. Um, it it talks about a lot of the stuff you already know about. Now, it does delve in the beginning a bit more into Vince's life and stuff like that, and that part was interesting. How he grew up and everything, and that was kind of cool to see. The biggest takeaway from the documentary for me, out of everything, is, and this is what fascinated me about it, and this is what still fascinates me about it, even after just finishing it like 2 minutes ago. Um, it seems like Vince McMahon himself doesn't know where the Vince McMahon, the person, versus Vince McMahon, the TV character we all saw, meet and where the line between them is. He genuinely seems to not really understand that where the line is between the two. And that made for a fascinating character study of a person as well as the TV character. It's almost like the documentary did a little bit of both. Like it covered Vince from the he's Vince standpoint, and like Vince gonna Vince, but then you get into like the psychological aspects of the Mr. McMahon character, and you're kind of like, well, is that Vince or is he just acting, or is this just where's the line? And you see people throughout the documentary say, "Oh, there's no line. Vince is Mr. McMahon. Like, there's no line. They're the same person, and all this." And he's like, "I don't. I'm not." He doesn't see it, and again, that makes it so compelling because you're looking for that split, that line between like the one half versus the other, like the person you see on camera versus the person you see in public. And there doesn't seem to be that with him. And it's just like, what is happening here? Going through his entire career and everything, and his rise and fall, it covers all the stuff that happened. You know, it covers him buying the business from his dad, and coming up to killing the territories, beating WCW. Covers a little bit of what happened with Benoit and the birth of the Mr. McMahon character, the very stage of the character. It covers the end of like everything with the accusations with Grant and the federal investigation that's going on now. It covers that. It opens up with like they were about to do another radio events when all that shit broke, because this had all been filmed prior to all that coming out. So they did have quite a few people in it. You had Hulk Hogan. God. You had Hulk Hogan, Teddy, Tony Atlas, Undertaker, John Cena, Paul Heyman, Cody Rhodes, Bret Hart, Eric Bischoff. I'm trying to remember who else was in it. Dave Meltzer, had Staff, you had Shane, you had Hunter. Meltzer was in it. He actually wasn't rage inducing or didn't make me want to punch my screen when he came on. He actually was good in it. I hate giving that man any credit at this point. But you had Phil Mushnick in there too. He's another one. You had a lot of people showed up and did this documentary. So it wasn't just like, and it wasn't this glaze piece where they kiss Vince's ass. They absolutely do not do that. It's not, they do cover like the bad stuff. They cover like how he fucked over Brett with the Macho Screw Job. They cover like Owen Hart's death. They cover like steroid trials. They don't gloss over anything. They don't sugarcoat anything with him. So it's not this like puff piece. It's actually a legit like, documentary. It doesn't pull its punches and it shouldn't have. And it's good that it didn't. Um I recommend watching it if for no other reason than to see like get your own opinion of it and to see what you can see about the break between the man and the character you see on TV. If you can see it, then you have better eyes than me because I still don't know. And as someone who studied psychology, at one point I was fascinated by this. I was absolutely fascinated by it because it's almost like a character study into like a psychopath or a serial killer, where you're like, what makes this dude tick? What the fuck is going on in his mind? And I couldn't turn away. Like I had to get through it. I was like, I gotta keep watching this. It's that good. It's that well done. Um, I can't say it enough. Like I love this documentary. But I like these character studies on like crazy shit. And what can I say? Wrestling is crazy shit. And Vince is probably the craziest motherfucker and to ever walk in wrestling. Like he's fucking nuts. And I don't say that in a good way. Like it's just fucking crazy. Like, and again, like to not know yourself where the break is between the man and the character. If you don't know, if you yourself don't know, how the fuck are we supposed to know? And that's what makes him compelling. That's what made it watchable. So yeah, that's pretty much all I've got for this one. I just wanted to give my quick thoughts on it. It's not really much to go in depth on because it's all stuff that's been kind of covered already. There's no new ground opened up or anything like that we don't already know with the Janelle Grant thing or the Rita Chatterton thing or all that stuff's already out there and it's been covered to death. Um, it did offer a bit of an insight into Vince's mind. I will say that. And there were some points he made that were kind of like interesting and very deep thought wise that I was shocked that he said. One of them being like something about the values of today aren't necessarily the values that were in place before. Talking about times changing as far as like, morality and stuff like that. And I was like, that's really kind of fucking deep. And he's kind of right. What was like considered a value back in like the 40s or the 50s isn't necessarily something that we consider today to be the same morals and values they would have on our compasses. And that's a very accurate statement. And for a guy of his age to even say that kind of was shocking. But it's also very deep thought. A deep thought that he had that just came out of nowhere when he was talking. It's like, shit. It also revealed like a bit about Vince kind of not really. He didn't seem comfortable talking about himself either. He even said at the beginning, like, I'm not really comfortable talking about myself. I can talk about other people, but I don't really talk about me. Um, and he seemed uncomfortable talking about himself, but he did it, and he did okay talking about himself. So it's worth watching from the aspect of seeing the psychological, the character study, as well as some of the way his mind works. It was actually really interesting from that standpoint. Like I said, comment below with your own thoughts on it if you've watched it. If you haven't, I recommend checking it out. It's actually entertaining and insightful from the character study standpoint or the human mind studying standpoint. It's really, really interesting from that standpoint. But anyway, I'm going to jump off here. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Peace.